Hello and welcome. My name is Grace Riley, and we are here at the Post-Roe America Conference 2023 here in Grove City, Pennsylvania. So today I am joined by Dr. Ann Hendershott, and she is a professor of sociology and the director of the Veritas Center for Ethics and Public Life at Franciscan University in Steubenville, Ohio, where she's taught since 2013. And formerly, she was a professor of sociology at the University of San Diego and served as the director of politics, philosophy, and economics program at the King's College in New York City. So we are very excited to have her today. She's written 7 books, including her most recent, The Politics of Envy, which we have on display here if you're watching on video. And she's also a contributor to many newspapers and has written a variety of op-eds. So thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Grace. I'm thrilled to be here. Grove City is so beautiful. I had never seen the college before except in pictures. You're so lucky to go here.
Thank you. We're so thrilled to have you and that you were able to come
I'm happy to come.
to speak on such an important issue. Today you'll be speaking with a speech titled Abortion Tourism. So will you just tell us a bit about that and about what you'll be speaking on today?
Yes. Abortion, since the Dobbs ruling, some states don't have abortion anymore. They automatically just, they gave it up. But then there are still some that are flourishing with their abortion industry. And what's happening is that those states that still have abortion and allow abortion are advertising for people who live in other states to come to their states for abortion. Now, you and I are from Connecticut. Connecticut is still all in on abortion, and they're advertising now something called the safe harbor, so that women can come to Connecticut and their expenses will be paid. We call it abortion tourism because it's almost like they're tour guides in a way, navigators. Planned Parenthood has navigators now. And so I'm going to talk about that new industry in that it's a replication of a former industry before Roe, pre-Roe, we had abortion tourism. So I wrote an article saying the return of abortion tourism, because in the early 70s, when abortion was allowed in New York, and it was pre-Roe, New York became the abortion mecca, and they want to do that again.
Yeah, and looking at that, obviously, as you've said, that has started to be a lot more prevalent now after the Dobbs decision. And just looking at that, the advertising, in a sense, of abortion tourism has really made evident that the left has gone from safe, rare, and legal to on-demand, anytime, anywhere. How do you think that change happened?
Well, you're right. The advertising is obnoxious. An Orlando advertising I saw said, combine your abortion with a vacation in Orlando. They really said that, the Orlando Women's Center. Kathy Hochul, the governor of New York, goes on and on about Lady Liberty is here to welcome you for your abortion, where, I find that obnoxious. And Gavin Newsom put up billboards, and some of these billboards are right here in Pennsylvania and Ohio. They're all over the country. Come to California for your abortion. Amy Schumer has an ad, a video ad for Colorado, and it's kind of a joke ad.
It's really crazy to me, and sad more than anything, how the attitude has shifted from life to now not just abortion if it's the worst case scenario and you need it. That used to be the attitude of the left, but now it's this exciting promotion.
Celebratory.
Which is, again, just sad and a lie to women. But on the left used to, and the Democrats used to be more pro-life, but they changed to being more pro-choice and more to this radical attitude. How did that happen?
That's very sad. And what makes me the saddest is that some very prestigious Catholic families, like the Kennedy family, helped do that. Senator Robert Kennedy, I'll be talking about this a little bit, was a senator from New York. And his family was always very Catholic, very pro-life, very good. The mother, I'm sure Rose Kennedy, must have hated this. But he was convinced by other Catholics and some priests and a bishop that they could support abortion for others, not for their own family or for themselves, but in good conscience they could do that. They were convinced that they could do that. I think it's wrong. We know that it's wrong and immoral. But there were some ethicists, one from the University of San Francisco, Johnson, his name was, they all got together out in Hyannisport, and they had this big meeting. It was a very big deal. And they decided that the Kennedy family could support abortion, so that when Caroline Kennedy was going to run for a Senate seat that was vacated a few years ago, the first thing she did was assure everyone that she was going to be pro-choice like the rest of her family, like Uncle Ted and everybody else. But certainly President Kennedy was not. So I don't mean to say that the Kennedys brought us abortion, but it just became more palatable and more acceptable. I mean, even Bill Clinton used to talk about safe and rare. Nobody talks about safe and rare. They talk about safe and easy and accessible, and we'll pay for it, because in Connecticut, taxpayers are going to be paying for out-of-state abortion.
Yeah, and the real sad thing about it is what it says about how people are viewing and valuing human life. Because it seems that there's a complete disregard for human life in our culture now, which has become even more secular.
It worries me greatly, and that's why I'm so grateful to Dr. Kengor for running this conference, because I worry that the elections now, because of the Dobbs ruling, people are voting about abortion now, so to keep abortion legal in the states where they're still legal.
Yeah, and we're so happy that we were able to do this conference and talk about such an important issue. But just to end, why is it so important that Christians are involved in politics and involved in protecting life?
Well, certainly we have to be. We don't really have a choice. A lot of people say, I don't like politics, but I don't want to get involved in politics. Well, politics are going to be involved in you whether you want them or not.
That's a great point, because politics is very messy, and it's not something that a lot of people and a lot of Christians want to be involved in. But as you said, politics impacts people. And if we really care about Christianity and our values and about what's true, then we need to be promoting that in all spheres of life.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're right, Grace. That's a very smart thing to say. People think they can close their door and keep the politics out. But no, they come in your door. They break your door down.
Yeah, that's very, very true. And just before we end, do you want to tell us a little bit about your book, Politics of Envy, and how people can find it?
I'm very interested in politics. Obviously, a lot of my books have politics in the title. I think a lot of the political discourse now rests on envy, telling people, you don't want to be like these fat cats, or, it's an appeal to envy. And so the whole book each chapter is a different form of envy. So it's available on Amazon. Thank you.
Then everyone look into it, The Politics of Envy, and be sure to look at all of Dr. Hendershott's work and, online. Is there anywhere else that they can find your work and your op-eds?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I write a lot for Crisis Magazine. Dr. Kengor does also, an American Spectator.
Great.
Yeah, so they can find me there.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.
For more information on the Institute for Faith and Freedom, visit faithandfreedom.com.